Happy Friday, everyone. Today I'm going to give you my early predictions for race winners and champions this season for Speedweeks and the entire year. Let's just start by going with Speedweeks in order. So Saturday, the first pavement oval race of 2020 with the ARCA Menard Series. And as we know today, ARCA held a practice session. They held two, actually. Their first one had almost all 33 cars in it. We obviously know as well that Haley Deegan got the fastest time in the opening session. I would love to pick her, but it is her first super speedway race. I think experience pays off, so I'm going to go with Michael Self to take the W. Although 9th fastest, that 25 car, though, knows how to get it done. Sunday, we have two events. We've got 500 pole qualifying and the Clash. The last 5 pole winners have come from a Hendrick Motorsports car, while the last 7 have come by a Chevrolet. Ford hasn't scored a pole in the 500 since 2012 with Carl Edwards, and Toyota has not even scored a pole in the 500 yet. But Joe Gibbs Racing, they have not scored a pole in the Daytona 500 since 1998. The pole, I'm going to say Jimmy Johnson. I think he pulls a similar Jeff Gordon situation from 2015. But if I look at a long shot, I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick, because usually if you get the pole, it's usually in your first or second year of the 500. And then for the Clash, I'm going to say Denny Hamlin. You don't really know who could get it until both the practice from Saturday and the starting lineups come out. Plus the Clash usually is kind of one of those races where everyone's just taking their time in a single file line, which is like exactly something similar to what we saw last year as well as in 2018. Thursday's duos we can't really pick since we don't know who's in what yet, but if you want a good similar reference, watch my video from last night that talks about what non-charter teams could make the Daytona 500. Friday, we have the truck race. For the pole, it's a tough one to choose, but I'm going to say a ThorSport truck, specifically Johnny Sauter or Matt Crafton. But in the race, it's a crapshoot. Anyone pretty much could win it in the pack after what we saw in Daytona last year. Just pick a name out of a hat and they could win. However, though, this is a huge year for TRD Power or Toyota Racing Development. Huge driver changes to KBM. Rafael Lessard and Christian Eckert are going full-time. Austin Hill's back in the 16. Derek Kraus will debut in the 19, and Stuart Friesen is switching from a Chevy to a Toyota truck. I'm going to say Austin Hill goes back-to-back, but I'm probably better drawing out of a hat for my long shot, and they'd probably be better than what happens. Anything can happen in that truck race. It's usually my favorite race of the night. Saturday, we've got the Xfinity Series race. Now, this is one of the more interesting years because the big three, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Cole Custer, are moving up to the Cup Series. Junior Motorsports, they remain the same. Ross Chastain, he's now in the 10 full-time. Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, they stay in their rides. Joe Gibbs Racing brings up Riley Herbst and Harrison Burton, while Brandon Jones remains in the 19. This is a really questionable year, and we don't know what's going to happen, and it seems like the series will just get more competitive than it did last season. In this race, for my long shot, I like Brandon Jones. He seems to be in the front and the end of these races, finished in this race in the top 10 the last 2 years. However, though, in the last 4 races we've had at Daytona, Ross Chastain has averaged a finish of 8.25. He knows how to race here. I'm going to go with the Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain. And then Sunday, we've got the big one, the Daytona 500. My long shot, same long shot as I had last year. The way he races at the play tracks, Matt DiBenedetto. It's a big year as he switches to the 21 for the Redwood Brothers. They've shown so much success in the 500, obviously, whether it's winning or racing near the front. Definitely going to be on my fantasy team next week. But my favorite to win, and it's because of the fact that usually the manufacturers of Chevy, Ford, or Toyota, they will work together in these races, especially with a new Super Speedway package, just like we've seen in the past few Super Speedway races. And with the success of how they did getting the 1-2-3 finish last year in the 500, I'm going to say Kyle Busch wins this race. A big question of mine here is, though, this is going to be his 16th Daytona 500. How has he not won this race yet? He's one of the best drivers in the sport, and he's a 2-time Cup champion. I get this isn't as popular as what Dale Jr. did, taking 20 tries to win a Daytona 500. But this is a big deal. I think Kyle Busch wins this race, but he deserves it. Let's go with predictions, by the way. Starting off in the Cup Series, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. Gets his second Cup Series championship, his first with the Joe Gibbs organization. Xfinity Series, I'm not really too sure who's going to win it yet. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and just say Justin Allgaier. You know, he's been in the Xfinity Series a while ever since he made his return in 2016 to Junior Motorsports. I think he deserves a title with all the years he's been racing in Xfinity competition. I think he gets that done. And then the Truck Series Championship. I really don't know. That's going to be tough. If I'm going to be on the safe side right now, I'm going to say Brett Moffitt. But if Austin Hill, again, if he does some stuff just like he did in the 16 car last year, if he gets a few more wins, I think we see Austin Hill gain this championship. Maybe even Stuart Friesen gain a few more wins as well. I don't think a KBM truck gets a championship yet. 2021, I think they do get a championship. But it's going to be interesting, though, because the truck playoffs move up from 8 to 10, in the first round. And then ARCA, I'm not really too sure who's going to win the championship there. Probably Michael Self again, but we'll see. I think it's going to happen in the ARCA series. But yeah, what are your predictions to win the race and win the championship? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you do enjoy my content, please become a patron on my Patreon. Plans start at $1 a month, and you'll get great rewards. If you guys did enjoy the video anyway, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow to recap the Clash Practice and the ARCA race. Till then, peace out.